Action.
Shall we take this up and see if it fits, Kelly?
Yeah, let's do that. Maybe you should take your shirt off first.
No, that's gross. It's 5 o'clock Friday evening. Got a long weekend ahead. Kelly is outside here doing something up on the boat, so let's go see what she's up to. Smells like cleaner. Did I just walk into a public pool?
Is it bad?
What are you doing?
Cleaning.
Starboard side looks great, but the port side's kind of ugly.
They're both done, so that's as good as it gets.
Oh, are they? I was joking. I thought you hadn't got to the starboard side yet. This side looks great. That side we'll probably need to recalc.
As you can see, it was an absolute mess before. We used a product called Sikaflex to hide all the seams, but it never really dried, and then we started sanding stuff, and the dust from that gorgeous red-brown primer landed everywhere. The idea behind this deep clean was to make everything pretty and fresh for the cabinet, cubby, walls, and floor pieces to be installed.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How'd you sleep?
Oh, well enough. You know what we should do today?
What?
We should install all this stuff.
Yeah, it's kind of getting in the way around here, isn't it?
Yeah. Is this upside down?
Uh-uh. Time to put in the blue walls.
How's that fit?
Try pulling it out on your end. Pull on it, Kelly. There you go.
I was pulling pretty
I know.
hard. And
That's why it's funny.
Now that we've test fit all the pieces and everything seems to work, it is time to glue everything down with epoxy.
Alrighty, ready to do this?
Ready.
Okay.
Just kidding.
This tool will probably be the reason why I'm deaf at age 50.
And missing a finger.
Thought it might be wise to be able to access that hydraulic cylinder that's been giving us trouble. So we opted to make a few extra cuts for an access hatch.
Should we give this one more shot?
Yes.
I think we got it. Oh!
How's it looking, boss?
Now that we know it fits, it's time to screw everything into place.
Well, Kelly, I think we got here a bed frame, except for the middle part where you lay.
What's happening
A
there?
frame of a frame.
Yeah.
This is going to be a piece that,
Oh, I have it over here.
yeah.
Yeah.
This piece will screw into these cleats and act as a access point to the hydraulic system.
Cool.
And then this will all be one big lift up hatch to get into all this.
Now it's epoxy time, for real.
We are ready for this one.
Sweet.
What's happening? Everybody stay calm.
What's the
Everybody
procedure,
stay calm.
everyone? What's the procedure?
Stay calm.
Start. One down, one to go.
Okay.
It's perfectly level. Well, Kel,
Yeah?
we got some visual progress done.
Yes, we did.
Gives me hope for the future.
Me too.
This is a list. This is a list of everything that I think we need to get done in the Aft-Cabin before we move forward, literally, into the V-berth and the salon and all those areas. Having our coffee, we made a list, we assigned jobs. The C is for Chris and the K is for Kelly.
How about that?
Yeah, it matches with our first names. I was gonna go by last names, but they're the same now. So it really wouldn't make any sense. Start at the top of this probably, or pick and choose and try to get through as much of these things as possible. We probably won't make it all the way through. So this is more like a punch list at the end of a construction job. This is not the end of the construction job though, because there's a lot more on this list that needs to be
Not even
done.
close.
And what are some of these jobs, you may ask?
Need to add the walls that will separate the shower from the vanity area.
Cut in a door.
Yeah, I'll cut in a door. It'll be important because you don't want to put up the walls without a way through it.
Yeah.
Unless you're the Incredible Hulk or the Kool-Aid Man. Neither one of those guys need doors.
They don't need to be on the boat either.
Good point. And then just basically some things like finishing out the shelving, sanding and painting, finishing up the interiors of our little corner cabinets. We've made things like this. Nice gut noises, Keepa. Anyway, this is going to be the box that sits on the back wall that houses our speakers
One of two.
for our media center. Fairing and sanding and painting, that's what'll take a day or two. But all of that needs to get done before we can move forward. Breakfast of Champions. Kelly made some cookies last night. They're buttery delicious. Little chocolate chip. Action. Want some coffee? Let's get going. What do you say?
Sounds good.
All right, Kay. All right, let's put the list up. Yeah, good. Put a check at the end once you finish something. If this were Halloween, I'd be a Canadian insult.
Because.
I'm a hoser. Hey, hoser. First up, this one. Cut and test fit aft window surround. So we're gonna do the lats that we did on the port side that ended up looking like this. They turned out great. I was very happy with them. So hopefully we'll get the same results on the starboard and the aft portion of the cabin. I cut those by starting with a big chunk of this. This is 2-inch ash. And I just cut 1/2-inch sections off the ash to make pieces like these.
For more detail on how this went down, check out last week's chapter, episode 13.
We're adding these big blocks of wood, one on either side of the light. And as you saw before, they will have a circle cut out and a speaker will be inlaid in them. Kelly wanted me to show you that. It looks cool.
It looks really cool.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with it.
So they'll live on either side. This is our template. So we have all our pieces. We're ready to assemble. Let's get this done. So far, this is coming along nicely. A couple of misfires in this line, and this line, and this line, and this line, but I think we've got it set up pretty well. We obviously have to put a line of screws through each of these little pieces to make sure they stay in place. We'll go with 2 double lines around each speaker box and then 1 through the middle. Should be great. Next up, I got to pull these little speaker boxes out and then lay the template over everything and cut it to shape. All right, our next step is to cut all the green off. To the bandsaw. Our cuts are not perfect, but they're very, very close. And we'll be able to fix those with sanding. The overall shape looks great. The real test is the fit. So we'll have to take these up before we spend a bunch of time sanding and making them perfect. And ensure that they're going to do what they're supposed to do. So the test fit went relatively well. I'm gonna have to make one more cord because I cut too big of a notch out of it. There's no way to add wood back to wood. Unless you know a trick, then comment down below telling me how you can add wood back to wood that you've already cut off. This is the culprit right here. Number 3, sour grapes. I'm just gonna trace that after I do the sanding that needs and then remake that, and then we'll just sand up all the pieces, make them pretty, and get them ready to stain.
Chris kicked us off with the first task. Now it's my turn. Task number 2 will be testing the port side locker to see if that window, that port light, is actually watertight. We did one test a while back and just kind of want to make sure before I install the vinyl that goes along the side. This is the light from the outside, obviously. And I'm not sure how best to do this other than just dump a bunch of water on it and see if it comes through on the other side. Maybe add some soap. Bubbles are definitely more visible. So I'm gonna try that. With the power of dawn.
This is a test. This is only a test.
You can't see a whole lot of bubbles now, but there were some bubbles.
You're just gonna have to trust me.
And basically I just ran the water along the top. Along the bottom here, you can see that's pretty well sealed off, so I'm not really worried about that part. It's just the sides here and this top piece. So now we gotta go inside and see if there's any damage. This is the moment of truth. I have here a dry paper towel. I'm just gonna go along the edges, see if it picks up any water. If it does, we are totally screwed. It feels totally dry, so I think we're good. Chris did a great job on this port light. Task number 3, I'm going to scrub all the hydraulic fluid that we spilled all over the aft deck and get all that yellow stuff off, make it look nice and clean. I suppose it'd be a good idea to sweep all this stuff off before I start scrubbing. There you are. See how clean I can make this. I'm running the hose from the house over there. You can see it just behind the dumpster, around up to the back of the boat. And I knew these things were good for something. Never been so clean. Next up, sanding. Just gonna sand over these patches here and here and here. This is no longer gonna be orange. Think we got enough samples here? We're gonna go with French silver, which is the bottom one, and antique tin is our kitchen galley color. And we'll stick with the shipwreck and match this wood. This is the briar smoke. Well, I've pretty much maxed out this guy over here. Had to replace the pads on him 3 times. Next up on that punch list, measuring, cutting, and installing that last piece of vinyl for the macaroni orange closet locker. Let's go see how well this fits. That.
Rather than subject you to watching me sand and cut and test fit, I went ahead and finished all the rest of the slats we're going to need for both the starboard side and the aft side. Here's the big pile of starboard pieces. They are sanded, they are test fitted, they are pre-drilled, and they are ready for stay. Or where that puts us on our list. Cut and test fit aft window surround. We did that. Cut and test fit starboard window surround. Just to give you an idea, we started at about 10 o'clock this morning, and it is right now after 8 p.m. This little project is basically the only thing I've been working on for the last 10 hours. That's how long this stuff takes. The last thing I'm going to do is get some stain on this, and Kelly's going to get us some food for dinner. All these little pieces. We need to let these dry for at least 2 days to really let that stain set and dry, because the next step in the process is to cover it with that special clear epoxy, which seals it up, and then we add the water-based varnish for the interior. The overall process takes about a week, but it's a pretty passive week, maybe 20 minutes a day. Woohoo, Chinese food! Salt and pepper shrimp. But before we eat, there's one more thing to cross off.
Yes.
Cut bed, platform, lid, and determine if it needs to be butt jointed. It does. Okay, we can go eat now.
All right.
Shall we take this up and see if it fits, Kelly?
Yeah, let's do that. Maybe you should take your shirt off first.
No, that's gross. Ready?
Yeah.
You got it? Is it going to set in? I don't know why this one is so funky.
This looks fine.
Why don't we think, for the sake of ease, since we're going to just make this into a butt joint anyway, this will be a joint. I'm going to give it a little choppy chop.
Just snap your fingers.
Zim salabim! There, Shazammed it.
Shazam.
What did I say last time?
Sim sim salabim.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's cut the rest of this lid so we can cross that job off. Like the champion of the people. You've cut it. Why don't you go get it and let's test fit it, babe?
Okay.
All right, babe?
All right, babe.
I'm over here.
Shut up.
Go. Let's put it in. We don't have all night. We have Mongolian barbecue to eat.
We're not gonna go out.
We can't go out for dinner. We're in quarantine lockdown. Oh, you got tape stuck to your foot like toilet paper out of the ladies' room. Oh, how embarrassing for you. This doesn't fit. It's not your fault. It's mine because I did all the measuring.
Thanks.
So how's it look over there?
It's up high.
It's because of that thing in the middle, but we can fix that. We're talking about the edge work. Edge work! That's what we're concerned about right now!
The edge work looks great. It lines up perfectly with this one.
See? Was that so hard? Smile. Don't you love it when guys tell you to smile?
I love it. That's my favorite thing about being a woman, is having a man tell me I need to smile more.
We didn't do shit this weekend. What have we been doing all weekend long? Nothing. So, that's it for this video, right, Kel?
Right.
You guys, you know what you should do?
What?
You should give us a thumbs up if you enjoyed this video. Also,
Hit subscribe.
hit subscribe.
And smash that bell.
The notification bell.
Yes.
You're going to smash it.
No, that's the thing that people say.
You should smash it. That way
Yeah.
you'll know when new videos come out, which happen every Saturday at 10 a.m.
Hey you, thanks for watching this week's episode. We really appreciate your support in our efforts to keep plugging along.
All right, I want to cut this last piece. And then cut a few more. And then cut something else. But not cheese. That smells bad. When I get to this point, my brain and my mouth are connected and there is no separating the two. The thought comes out the mouth hole.
Yeah. You're like you, but more you than
Yep,
you've ever been.
I'm intensified.
Mm-hmm.